Look at that. Dude, that is a whiting. Oh my God. Holy cow. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another KyleForAwhile video, or surf fishing the Florida Gulf Coast. You guys already know. Now in today's video, I'm gonna be doing a video that I've been meaning to make for a while now. And this is a pretty special video, you know, inside of me, because this was a big deal to me. Anyways, this trip was probably, I can't remember exactly when it was. I'll be able to tell you guys specifically. I want to say it was sometime in June or July, but I'm going to be making this video about a potentially state record whiting caught here in Pensacola, Florida, about probably, you know, 4 or 5 months ago. So I just wanted to make this video because I honestly think that this kid next to me caught a potentially state record Gulf Kingfish whiting right next to me on the beach here in Pensacola, Florida. And I was meaning to make this video, but I never really got around to it, and I just realized the significance of it. But I made a video a while back, probably in June or July. It was a video where I caught a redfish off the beach, a nice slot red, and in that video there was a, I was fishing early that morning by myself on the beach, and then this family of 3 came into the beach. They fished right beside me. I was a little upset at first just because they set up so close to me, but ended up being a really young kid. I think he was, I don't know how old he was, probably 11, 12, and his name was Ethan, and he had an older brother, and he had his mom. I think it was his mom fishing with him as well. So it was just a mom and 2 of her kids fishing with them. One of them was really young, and the other one was a little bit older. He was probably, you know, 16 or whatever. Anyways, the 16-year-old kind of kept to himself, but Ethan, you know, as a young kid, you know, we all know young kids, they're very curious, and he came up to me and was asking me what I was using for bait and all that. Just a really cool kid. We started talking about fishing. He was interested in what I was using for bait, talked to me about fishing. It was funny. It was awesome to see a kid that young so excited into fishing. But anyways, I'm making this video because as the day went on, I ended up hooking a redfish just as I was about to leave. And as I was fighting that redfish, as soon as I got done hooking that redfish, Ethan, the little kid that I'm talking about, ran over to his reel, and he had something on as well. And I didn't think too much of it. You know, I thought maybe he had like a catfish on, or maybe or just whatever. This particular beach, we do not catch a whole lot of whiting at all. We do not catch a whole lot of whiting at this particular beach. I don't know what it is. It may have something to do with the just how shallow the troughs are. But anyways, I'm sitting over there, I'm watching him reel it in. I didn't really have it on camera, obviously, because I'm most of the time filming myself. I'm not filming other people. But anyways, he brings this fish onto the shore, and I can see it from a distance away, and it looks like a redfish. That's how big this whiting was. I was like, oh look, he got a redfish too. I end up walking closer and closer, and it is the biggest whiting I have ever seen caught here in Pensacola, Florida, or even honestly, like the biggest whiting that I've seen caught probably on. I follow a lot of social media forums. I'm not saying this is the state record, but this is by far one of the biggest whiting I've ever seen caught. Like, as you'll see in the video, I was honestly completely dumbfounded. I was so excited whenever he caught it. I was probably more excited than he was, honestly. Holy cow! Man, you gotta come take a picture of that. Holy cow! Dude, you literally may have just caught a record whiting. I'm not kidding you. Holy cow! That's the biggest one I've ever seen. Guys, look at the size of that whiting right there. Holy cow! That's the biggest whiting I've ever seen. Holy cow!
That wasn't even on squid either. That was on shrimp.
Oh my, Ethan, that's a good catch, buddy. Right here. I don't think he realized the magnitude of the whiting that he just caught. Like I said, I literally thought it was a redfish. That's how big it was. But anyway, he was using peeled shrimp, just peeled shrimp, and he brings in this stud whiting. And I'm at a loss of words whenever I see this thing. I'm like, oh my goodness. At first, it didn't even register to me that this could be a state record whiting, but they were actually fishing in a fishing tournament. I can't remember the name of the tournament they were fishing in, but it was here in Gulf Breeze, Florida. I'll try to find the name of the tournament, but what made this so much cooler is that we actually got an official weight on the whiting itself too. So him and his family were actually fishing in this tournament, and I told him, I was like, man, listen, you have got to get this thing weighed. This is before I knew he was in the tournament, but I was like, Ethan, you have got to get this thing weighed, man. Like, I'm not just telling you this because, like, seriously, this is a really nice fish, and you need to get this thing weighed because you could have a state record whiting. I think I ended up measuring it, and it was like just over 18 inches long. As you guys can see, the picture of him holding it with fish grips, like the fish grips, this whiting makes the fish grips look relatively small. And you guys know fish grips are pretty, pretty good sized pair of, little fish grips, I guess you could say. But this whiting made the fish grips look absolutely puny. I mean, this was a stud whiting. Like I said, we ended up measuring it. It was like 18 inches long, and the weight of this whiting was 2 pounds and 5 ounces. I actually have screenshots somewhere on my phone because I actually went and looked up the results of the tournament, and I went and looked it up, and sure enough, the whiting they caught was obviously the first place winner by a long shot. It was 2 pounds 5 ounces, and whenever I saw that, I was like, holy cow. And whenever Ethan caught this fish, I asked him if it was okay if I took a picture of it, and I put it on social media. And even a lot of people that I follow that are big time surf fishermen, or just, fishermen in general, even they were like, dude, you got to get this thing, that kid has got to get this thing weighed. That is like a huge whiting. Like, that state record in Florida could be in trouble. So sure enough, I do a little bit of researching, and the state record that I found right now is held by a guy named Larry Finch. I'm sure a lot of you guys know who Larry Finch is. Larry Finch is a big time surf fisherman here in Florida. I think he fishes mostly in Jacksonville or somewhere on the east coast of Florida. It may not be Jacksonville, don't mark my exact words, but he fishes somewhere on the east coast of Florida. Big time surf fisherman. I think he owns his own like fish market and bait shop. And right now he actually owns the state record. Sorry, there's like motorcycles going by my house right now. But anyways, right now Larry Finch actually has the state record whiting at 2 pounds 3 ounces. And whenever I saw that, I was trying to figure out if it was a Gulf kingfish or a northern kingfish. It looked like a Gulf kingfish, but I didn't see like black on the tip of the tail in the picture of Larry Finch's fish. But anyways, if that was a Gulf kingfish, literally this kid next to me caught a state record whiting. And I know a lot of people say that they've caught big whiting before, and I'm sure that's true, but still, nonetheless, a whiting this size is unbelievable. Like, I've never seen a whiting this freaking big I've never seen a whiting this big caught. Like I said, whenever he pulled that thing on the shore, I thought it was a redfish at first, and I got closer and closer, and I was like, no way that's a whiting. That was absolutely crazy. But anyways, so like I said, I was doing some research, and I found out that the state record is by Larry Finch, 2 pounds 3 ounces, and Ethan's whiting is 2 pounds 5 ounces. So if they're both Gulf kingfish, which I'm pretty sure they are, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they're both Gulf kingfish, then that would mean that Ethan, this 10, 11-year-old kid next to me right now, has the state record whiting fish caught. So that is pretty cool that I was able to witness a kid next to me catch a state record fish, if it's a state record fish. I'm just making this video because I just want you guys to share this video around and just, let me know what you guys think. I know a lot of whiting have been caught that are really big that nobody has, has pictures of or videos of. But I still think this whiting deserves a video on its own, and it's so cool because it was caught on the beach that I fished primarily here in Pensacola Beach. So that makes it even more special for me. But what a fish, and it's so cool to see a little kid like that catch such a fish of so much magnitude here, and just, I don't know, I just feel like he deserves so much more credit for the fish that he caught, because I don't think he realizes how like it was a fish of a lifetime. It really was. Even though it's a whiting, and whiting aren't really game fish, and they're not really too exciting to catch, catching one that big will make any angler you know, any like big time surf fisherman angler, just go crazy, because it was a trophy whiting for sure. Honestly, it was a huge whiting. I wish I would have gotten more video footage of it, but I was just kind of in the moment whenever he caught it. I took a lot of pictures on my phone and all that. But anyways, he told me that he fishes that beach a lot. So maybe sometime in the future I'll see him out there again, and I'll let him know that I like went and did some research into the fish, and I think that he caught the state record whiting fish that day. Just an absolutely crazy experience to be by you know, somebody catching a fish of that magnitude. It was absolutely crazy. You know, I hope honestly I see him one day, so that way I can, like, you know, talk to him about it, because I just want him to know how crazy of a catch that was. And I want to know your guys' opinions if you think that this is a state record fish. I personally think this is a state record fish. Like, I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm right, but in my opinion, I mean, this fish was just so much bigger than any whiting that I've seen caught here in Pensacola, Florida. It just blew out any other just competition away. It was huge. It was absolutely humongous. And I just feel like, you know, a little kid like that fishing just deserves so much just credit for that fish. And I wish that he would have, you know, actually called the, you know, the people that actually keep up with that stuff. And I actually did. The day after that, I actually did call them, because I was going to try to reach out to them for him, because he didn't have any idea what he was doing. He had no idea I was actually even doing this. But I wanted to see if I could actually get his fish up there, because like I said, they were fishing in a tournament. So they were using an official scale to weigh that whiting that he caught, which was 2 pounds 5 ounces. So they were using an official scale. There's screenshots of it and everything. And I wanted to like call them, but whenever I called them, I mean, they needed the fish, they needed the person's information and stuff like that. So there was just no way it could happen. But I know I've been rambling on here for a long time now. But like I said, you know, multiple times already, it's just so cool to see a kid catch a fish of that magnitude, and just, it's awesome. And so I wanted to try to give him the magnitude that he deserves. But 2 pounds 5 ounces Gulf Kingfish. It was a Gulf Kingfish. It wasn't a Northern Kingfish or a Southern Kingfish. It was definitely a Gulf Kingfish, and just an absolute just stud fish. I mean, it was absolutely crazy how big this whiting was. But that's gonna do it, guys. If you guys have any information on maybe, you know, on a process that maybe we could go through to try to get this thing up on the board, or any way, like maybe they can go through the process, because I have pictures, I have video, and I have an official scale. I have an official screenshot of the scales of that tournament of the whiting. So if we can like somehow get this thing going, and maybe, you know, label that as a state record for Florida, that would be so cool. And like, I don't know, I just think it'd be so awesome if like if we could, you know, get this thing as a state record fish. But any idea or any type of information that would help, leave it in the comment section so I can, you know, maybe help this kid out. He has no idea I'm doing this. I don't even think he realizes how good of a catch that was. But I want to try to give him some recognition for it, and just, wow, it was a crazy experience. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry this video didn't involve any fishing, but I did want to make a video on this just because it was such a cool day out there, fishing fishing right there next to somebody that catches a state possibly. It was just so cool, you know, fishing out there. It was just so cool fishing next to somebody that could have possibly caught a state record fish. That just honestly blows my mind. That could have been the biggest whiting ever caught in the state of Florida. And whenever you wrap your head around that, that's just absolutely crazy. But if you guys are new here and y'all like surf fishing, guys, I post all types of surf fishing videos here on my channel. Go check some out. I'll leave some in the description. So if you like beach fishing and surf fishing and pompano fishing and stuff like that here on the Florida Gulf Coast or Alabama or wherever you're from, make sure to subscribe. I post all types of surf fishing content here on my channel. And if you did enjoy this video and you want to try to help Ethan, you know, get recognized for his awesome catch, make sure to drop a like on this video. And like I said, if you have any information on possibly, you know, trying to get this process through, leave it in the comment section. And if you guys have ever caught a big whiting, I want to know, because like I said, I know a lot of people have caught big whiting off camera and stuff like that. So maybe they don't have pictures of it, but leave it in the comment section. I'm curious to know. And thank you guys so much for watching. I plan on getting out and making some surf fishing videos here very shortly. Here around November, the surf fishing is going to start picking up pretty good, I feel like. So y'all stay tuned for that. Sorry for the lack of videos. I'm going to be getting right back into surf fishing here as soon as the weather clears up and all this grass gets out of Pensacola. But until then, I'll see you guys on another episode of Surf Fishing the Florida Gulf Coast.